Welcome to the deep dive. Today, our mission is, well, it's pretty universal. We're tackling the tireless human quest for eternal, perfect happiness. That state some traditions call Ananda.
Right, and we're not just mapping it out. We're looking for a shortcut, a genuine, direct route.
For this deep dive, we're focused on the core teachings of Bhagavan Sri Ramana Maharshi, especially from his text, Nan Yar, which means, who am I?
Exactly. If you've ever wanted, the ultimate do-it-yourself manual for spiritual liberation, this is it. It's all about jnana, knowledge, and it's a radical approach.
Before we even get into the technique, we have to talk about the source. Sri Ramana himself, born Venkataraman in 1879, his story is it's so unusual.
It really is. Because his realization, the final goal for most people, happened without any external guidance. He didn't spend years looking for a guru or practicing some strenuous yoga.
No. The sources call it a great divine change, and it happened when he was just 16.
And the trigger for this massive change wasn't some profound meditation or a cosmic vision. It was the sudden, raw, overwhelming fear of death.
And here's where it gets really interesting. He didn't run from it. He leaned right into the terror.
He did. He laid down, made his body rigid, and basically simulated his own death. And from within that state, he started scrutinizing it.
Asking, what is dying? To whom does this death actually come?
And that intense, direct looking led to this instant aha moment.
Oh.
A totally unmediated realization.
He saw it.
He saw it with perfect clarity.
Yeah.
The body, it was being destroyed. It would be burned on a pyre.
Yeah.
But the indestructible I, the self, it persisted. It was completely untouched.
And this flash of true knowledge, this Atmajnana, it wasn't a temporary peak experience. It dawned immediately, and it was permanent, an irreversible transformation.
And that's really what makes him unique. His path began with the answer, not the search. He became a jnana guru for the whole world, a bit like the primal teacher, Dakshinamurti, because the truth was realized entirely from within. It makes his teaching just utterly direct.
Okay, so let's get into the foundation. The big mistake we all seem to make. Ramana starts by saying, look, everyone is working for happiness.
Right. From an ant looking for a crumb to an emperor trying to expand his territory. Everyone.
We crave that Ananda, and that craving itself is good. But the way we go about it's fundamentally broken.
The sources are very, very clear on this. Any happiness you try to get through the five sense organ sight, sound, touch, taste, smell, it is guaranteed to be fleeting.
Guaranteed.
The very tool you use to get pleasure eventually turns on you and becomes a source of pain.
And we've all felt that, right? You watch too much, your eyes get strained, listen to too much noise, your ears get fatigued.
I mean, even the tastiest dish, if you eat too much of it, becomes repulsive and makes you sick. We chase these external things until they literally cause us pain.
So it's a paradox. If true, lasting happiness can't come from out there, where does it come from?
And this is where Ramana offers a test you actually perform every single night. He asks, where do you experience perfect, undeniable happiness without any sensory input at all?
No body consciousness, no world.
Nothing. And the answer is deep sleep.
You wake up and you say, I slept so soundly, or that was so blissful. Your mind, your body, your senses, they were all offline. Yet we remember it as a state of bliss.
And that is the definitive proof. Happiness is inside you. It's your true nature, what they call existence consciousness bliss, or Satchidananda.
So the misery starts when the mind runs outwards, chasing desires.
Yes. So let's say you want a new car. You obsess over it, you work for it, and then you finally get it. That little flash of joy you feel, it's not actually from the car.
It's from the mind stopping its running.
For a moment, yeah. The desire is fulfilled, so the mind temporarily collapses back into its source, the self. You get a little taste of your own inherent happiness.
But then the mistake happens.
Instantly, the mind projects that joy onto the car and thinks, that car made me happy. And that is the core illusion.
And Ramana had this perfect, if a bit grim, analogy for this. The foolish dog at the cremation ground.
It's a brutal image, but it's so precise. This dog finds a dry bone and starts chewing on it like it's the best thing in the world.
But the bone is dry, there's nothing in it.
Nothing. The sharp edges of the bone cut the dog's own gums, and its mouth starts to bleed. The dog tastes its own blood, and in its ignorance thinks the joy and the taste are coming from the bone.
So it chews even harder, inflicting more pain on itself for a taste of its own blood.
And that, he says, is us. That's humanity. We accumulate external objects, chase status, seek validation, thinking the tiny, fleeting happiness we get comes from the object.
When really it's just from the desire momentarily stopping. We're tasting our own inner joy, but giving all the credit to the dry bone that's actually wounding us. So if happiness is our default state, what's blocking it? It has to be something internal. And Ramana says the mind is the veil, thoughts are the problem.
He really just cuts right to the chase. He says, the mind is only thoughts. That's it.
Yeah.
And of all the thousands of thoughts we have, there is one root thought.
The I thought.
The I thought. I am this body. That is the ego, the ahankara.
And this seems simple, but it's everything. The world you perceive, the second, third persons, you, she, it, the world, it only exists if that first person, that I, exists.
Absolutely. When you're in deep sleep, the I thought subsidies. And for you, the entire world vanishes. No I, no world.
So the ego is the fundamental mechanism of our bondage. Ramana calls it the chit jata granthali, a knot.
A knot, yeah. A knot between what?
That's my question.
It's the knot between pure consciousness, the self, and the insentient inert body. It's described as a formless and ghostly ego.
A ghost. I like that.
Because it only seems to exist by grasping onto a form, the body, and then it just feeds on other thoughts and other forms to sustain itself. It's the original confusion.
A ghostly ego clinging to matter. That's a powerful image, and that's why the goal isn't just to quiet the mind for a bit.
No, not at all. The mind is the problem. The goal has to be manonasa, the permanent destruction of the mind.
And that's different from what most people achieve in meditation.
Very different. Most people get manalaya, which is just temporary quiet. It's like taking shelter from a rainstorm. It feels good, it's peaceful, but the second the storm passes.
The mind jumps right back out, more enthusiastic than ever, just like waking up from sleep.
Exactly. So laya is just a break. Nasa, destruction, is the only permanent solution to that ghostly ego.
To understand this, there's the classic metaphor of the seer and the seen. The seer is the self, the reality. The seen is the mind, the world, the illusion.
And the classic example is the rope and the snake.
Right. You're walking at dusk, you see a rope, but you mistake it for a dangerous snake.
And the knowledge of the rope, the truth, it can't dawn on you until the false idea of the illusory snake is completely gone, right? You don't try to negotiate with the snake.
You destroy the illusion of the snake.
Precisely. And in the same way, self-realization won't happen until the deep belief that the world, the body, the ego are real is utterly removed.
Yeah.
You have to see that the ego, like the snake, never actually existed in the first place.
Which brings us right to the core of the teaching, self-inquiry. This is the direct path, the radical shortcut.
It is. When you look at most traditional paths, karma yoga, bhakti yoga, whatever, the person doing the practice has to first accept the ego, the I, as a real thing.
I am a soul trying to reach God. I am a person trying to purify my karma.
Right. You've already accepted the fundamental illusion as your starting point. And Ramana said that's like hiring a thief to pretend to catch himself. It's never going to work.
So self-inquiry bypasses that trap. Instead of trimming the millions of leaves and branches, all the secondary thoughts, it goes right for the trunk.
It strikes at the root I thought by asking, who is this I?
And the sources make a staggering claim here. They say, the mere inquiry to whom are these defects is itself karma, bhakti, yoga, and jnana.
It's an incredible statement. It's saying this one question contains all other paths.
Why?
Because when this I is properly investigated, it's found to be non-existent. It just dissolves. And since the ego is the root of all our problems, when it goes, all the other problems go with it. Instantly.
Okay, let's make this really practical. For you listening, I'm sitting here and a thought of irritation arises, maybe about a work email or something. How do I actually do this?
The discipline is simple, but it has to be absolute. When that thought arises, I'm stressed about this deadline. You do not pursue it. You don't analyze it. You don't worry about it.
You cut it off at the source.
You immediately shift your attention and ask, to whom has this thought arisen?
And the answer can only be, to me.
Then instantly, you follow up with the one central question, who am I? You turn the full force of your attention back onto the very source of that I thought.
And what happens then?
The thought, because you've starved it of attention, it collapses back in on itself. It returns to its source, the heart, and becomes quiet. The I thought has this very peculiar property. If you focus attention on it to find out what it is, it subsides.
It's like that analogy of moving a projector screen towards the projector.
Exactly. The image, which is the thought, just shrinks and vanishes as you get closer to the source of the light.
Okay, but Ramana claimed this is the easiest path. That seems counterintuitive. Most people find stopping thought to be the hardest thing in the world.
That's the common objection, for sure. But he was adamant. Of all paths, This path is the easiest, and his justification is profound.
Which is?
All other practices, japa, dhyana, breath control, they're acts of extroversion. They teach the mind to be one-pointed, yes, but they teach it to cling to an alien object, a second or third person thing.
So you're building mental muscle, but you're training it to face the wrong way, outwards?
Precisely. You're strengthening the mind's tendency to go out, which is actively unfavorable for the work of turning inward to find the source.
Whereas self-inquiry is the opposite. It uses power we already have.
Yes. It uses our inherent power of knowing, loving, and doing, and it directs it at the first person. We already love ourselves best. We already know we exist, even in sleep. We're just taking that built-in internal attention and turning it around 180 degrees.
So it's the most direct path, because its target is the only thing you know for sure, your own existence.
That's it. And we have that story of the great scholar Ganapati Muni. He was a master of external meditation, japa. He said after years of practice, it was easy to send his mind forward, outward. But he found it impossible to make it go backward, inward.
Which just proves Ramana's point, you're not strengthening the ego with self-inquiry, you're watching it dissolve. Okay, let's wrap this up. The essential truth for you, the listener, is this. Happiness is your true self. It's Sat Chidananda, and it's found not by getting more stuff, but by the permanent destruction of the ego mind.
And the revolutionary method is to stop chasing every thought that pops into your head. Instead, use the attention you already have to relentlessly ask, who am I? Right at the source of that I thought.
And this leads to maybe the most profound and challenging implication in all of Ramana's teachings.
It really is. He taught that the common idea that you have to experience all your past karma, your prarabdha, until the body dies. He said that's just a superficial idea for people who don't know the truth yet.
That idea of an instant revolution, it's shocking. People spend lifetimes trying to burn off their karma. Ramana says that moment is irrelevant.
Because all three types of karma, the past, the future, and the present, they all depend on the existence of a doer. And the doer is the ego.
The husband and the three wives analogy.
Just as all three wives are instantly widowed the moment the husband dies, all three karmas are extinguished the instant the doer. The ego is destroyed by knowledge. If the ego is gone, who is left to experience the karma?
So the final thought for you to take away is this. If all action past, present, and future depends entirely on an illusory ego, if the doer can simply vanish in a flash of self-knowledge, what action is truly left for you to perform right now, other than seeking the death of that illusory I?
That is the weight and the absolute shortcut of self-knowledge.